Okay, we're back. We're going to look at the feet for a moment, and just a gentle reminder for everybody: just double check your registration marks, see if the papers slowly slide, your tape. If you have a nice low stick adhesive or kind of softer adhesive, it's definitely going to shift and move around on you. So I've had the tape coming up on me constantly and just kind of pushing it back down. But for the top view of the foot, what I like to do is find the top uh, arch that kind of are curved that goes up into the leg, into the shin. And very quickly, there's a change in the curve. So it kind of curves in and then it kind of curves back out again. Actually goes this way for the most part, for the muscle in the shin. So just be aware of that. Um, and I'm just kind of thickening up the lines here and making sure that as I go, um, erasing away and clarifying these lines. And that's what the wax gives you the option to get, lets you really search. So I'm going right here, and then the top part of the foot, there's another curve right here. Again, trying to fight my natural instincts of anatomy and make it more simple and more graphical. And so, but I just want a little bit of just hint at some of those arches. And then for the where that curve happens, starts to happen, right about there, I'm going to identify that over here, and I'm going to kind of do a really gentle little curve here, just kind of bring that out, and then it curves down and out to the bottom spatula of the foot. So maybe bring that curve over a little wider, so it kind of really goes up into the um, shin region, the ankle, and down around the bottom. So let's define that a little bit more, the red. And I don't want to be too harsh, but I want to make sure it's there. Because drawing it's a triangle, right? You're just kind of doing this triangle shape. 1, 2, 3. But yeah, drawing the feet from the front pose is really a challenge, right? Everyone struggles with that. And so right away, that should help a little bit. You just want to kind of get that first triangle going. And then we want to get, usually if the feet are just barely, just a teeny tiny, but try not to ever do pigeon toe where they're coming inward. I know that a lot of anime art, like they like to draw the girls or the characters with their toes pointed inward. It's like a stylistic choice, but this is a design diagram, so try to not do that. So yeah, so the foot's going to come out. Remember, this is the side, so this is the outside. So, but the big toe, let's exaggerate the size of his toes just a bit. So from the front view, I'm going to kind of you should make them a little flatter. I'm looking at the Aardman reference again. Maybe they're very very round, but even as round as these toes are, they're still going to flatten just a little bit on top. So you can just kind of draw a straight line in there. And then this inside portion of the foot, I'm not putting the ankles on this guy, but then the outer ball of the foot should come out just a little bit beyond the big toe. So you can kind of accentuate that. So we'll go back in with the blue and red, make a purple, go in the top, and then I'm just going to make sure. And there's a little flattening on the bottom too, so you shouldn't be perfectly around on the bottom of the toe, right? There should be pressure. That's your compression, right? So it should compress a little bit for the big toe. So I just made his big toes quite large. I don't know. So many characters are coming to mind when I look at this, like Elmer Fudd. Like, not that he looks like Elmer Fudd much, but just the toes. Elmer Fudd always had funny, cute little toes in the Looney Tunes. And so if I'm looking at that right in the top mark over here, I can go to this line here and I can really define, although I'm drawing the outside angle, if I could draw that big toe, should be the most prominent toe. And then the rest of them should fade backwards. So I'm just gonna make sure I get that big toe coming in there. There you go, in the side view. And then we'll do the top view as well. And then they kind of, if you're going out, they're going to kind of fade and curl back, like just like the outer arc of the middle finger, ring finger, small finger, right? So in order to simulate that, as it moves away, I'm going to have it slightly covering the arc of the next toe over. I'm going to bring us down, still draw a little bit of a flat line, try and draw them together as I go, and then a little curve here and a little flatter on the bottom. Now, you're welcome to do these however you want. I'm just giving you a template to follow for like kind of graphical humanoid, regular kind of. He's just kind of a bland, blank type of character, right? Then the next one over, out a little more, and even if I was doing a more anatomical, I'd draw a toenail in there and angle it in, but I'm not going to do that today. Maybe on another draw over sheet I could do that. And there's that one, and the fourth one, and then down out to the little toe. Out to the little toe, and then usually the outside of the foot will, just like the inner ball of the foot, is going to stick out just ever so slightly beyond the actual toe, so we can bring that out if we want. And again, I'm checking my grid lines, making sure I'm even on both sides, looking okay. And to the ball of the foot, go. And go grab my red, and let's ink. I almost said ink. Let's define these back in better. So there we go. And yeah, it looks kind of weird, but that's feet look, if you're perfectly straight forward and there's no perspective, which is a lot of you did great drawings, but you wanted to show that top of the toe, which is how you should be wanting to do it. But when you're doing orthographics, when you're doing design sheets, you don't want to show that. So there we go. And then you can kind of bring the upper part here. Not that I'm going to shade much yet, but I just want to kind of show that that's there. And that's going up here, top. There you go. If we wanted to add ankles, we could. The low outer ankles comes out lower than the inner ankle is higher. So I'll just throw those on there for shits and giggles. There you go. So it's quite a difference if there's a diagonal there. So whatever I do to one side, mirror it over to the other. There we go. It's funny how I'll say I won't do something and I do it. Sorry about that. Anatomy, man. I love anatomy. I studied it my whole life and still trying to master it. It's lifelong learning. It's fun. There we go. And then we can take our eraser. I want to bring out more of that ankle in. Double checking. This is coming inward or outwards. Coming a little more inward. Looks like. Oh, oops. With the wrong line there. No, that's outward still. Yeah, it should have left that where it was. Yeah, and that's the refinement process that gets really fun with these colored pencils. Like it's so nice to come back and look at it later and refine it because it's so easy. Take these wax colors and just kind of push and pull and make it just right the way you want it, and it'll turn into a really nice design. So that's the front of the feet. So define the big toe first. Define the top of the foot where it goes into the ankle. And draw that from take that line, make sure you measure over in the graph and define the top of that in a little triangle. When you draw the big toe, be sure to add the ball of the foot, which is behind it. The ball of the foot's back here from the inner view, right? And then next one, make it a little smaller, progressive. They curve the angles this way, and the one in front overlaps a little bit, usually the one next to it. So it's overlap. Curve, a little flatter on the top, a little flatter on the bottom for the compression, and the outer part of the foot usually comes out just a tiny bit past the little toe. And then the top here, you do another arc right here. And then I just put the ankles in, outer ankle, usually a little bit lower than the inner ankle. That's the diagonal. Remember, there's a diagonal everywhere in the body. Okay. So we can come over here and we can simulate that now. We can go, all right, well, let's do the outer ankle first is right there. So that's going to be pretty easy to put in now since we got the measurement exactly where we want it. There we go. That's about good enough. And don't forget your anatomy, even though we're not doing super anatomically accurate detail, we still want to have the underlying anatomy correct. So don't forget to pull up your anatomy sheets and watch the common mistakes for the foot. Okay, so I almost can do this little toe first. So how much of an arch we want, that's what I was going to start drawing from the side view here. So I was going to make his ankles a little fatter, and then it's going to do the top of the foot. I think is more important than the bottom. So a lot of times in the stop motion, we kind of hide the bottoms a bit more than usual. Ball the foot, and then big toe. There we go, and a nice big toe there. Maybe make it a little, you can see the thickness is right here. So it's broader. And actually, it reminds me, I didn't even measure that. Shoot. Oopsie. Yeah. Yeah, measure the thickness is actually, so it's actually pretty wide. I made it really wide. So it's like 1 and a little over 3/16. So, oh my God, I don't even have enough room to squeeze the foot in there. I guess that's why I was stopped. Okay. So I was making it like way too narrow from how I drew it in the front. And that's on me. I could bring this in. Maybe it's too wide. My gut tells me maybe it is, but so yeah, I'll go back to the way I had planned originally. So maybe I'll cut that off from the video. But let's continue on the side view. So yeah, do next one over and down. Maybe the blue might show up a little bit nicer for us, a little flatter on top, nice curve in the front, little, and then the next one. 1, 2, 3. Not a lot of room here from the side view, so you got to be real careful. And it is what it is. Like these are hard to draw, so you want to keep looking at the how far down, how quickly I went down. I went down a little too fast there, so I'm going to bring this up, maybe squeeze one more in there. 2, 3, and then by the time I reach the bottom now, I'm going to actually be pretty accurate. You can barely see, but when we ink it, we'll clean it up. So there's the next one. 3 and 4 and 5. That probably is a mess on camera, so but that's all right. I'm okay with it. There you go. And then that little outer, like we said, you want to see the side of the toe, and then this is the part that sticks out a little bit farther, usually from the side view. So you're gonna have like really short, wide, fat feet. And you could probably make that ankle curve a little bit better, or the heel, excuse me, curve a little bit better. And the top of this as well. Okay. All right. Close to being done. Ooh, a little generic biped puppet.